Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Thursday, the 20th of August. The police minister says he doesn't question the actions of the officers involved in the fatal shooting of Tom Phillips. Phillips and his children were missing for 4 years before he was killed in a shootout in September. The Independent Police Conduct Authority's investigations released today finds the shooting of Phillips was justified. Mark Mitchell says the officers were facing an armed man who had shot their colleague in the middle of the night.
So it was a really difficult situation for them to deal with, and they've done an outstanding job, and that's been reflected back in the IPCA findings as well.
The local government minister wants to meet with Tauranga's mayor about accountability after the damning landslide report. A review commissioned by the Tauranga City Council on January's slip, which killed 6, has labelled the incident avoidable. It's identified more than 2 decades of experts warning the council of rockfalls and landslides, which could create a risk to life. Simon Watt says he wants an explanation on the report findings and a timeline on when recommendations will be implemented.
It is my expectation that those recommendations are implemented without delay, and that's something I'll be closely monitoring.
A National MP claims there's zero logic to a change announced by his government at Budget 2026. From April, a $33,000 cap on tax credits for charitable donations is being imposed. There's currently no cap. Greg Fleming has described it as a sledgehammer to destroy a walnut. He claims work's underway to fix this.
I have no problems with being quoted publicly on saying I think it was an error.
Believe New Zealand is failing to look after the assets it already has, and it's time for a change. The Building Nations Conference in Christchurch has brought together hundreds of leaders from government, business and the infrastructure sector to discuss our future. Infrastructure New Zealand Chief Executive Nick Leggett says we have a set and forget mentality, failing to invest in and maintain what we already own.
Politicians aren't project managers, but they are there as the gatekeepers for public investment. But we want the experts running infrastructure, and that's what we need to see more of.
Kiwibank is reporting a 9% drop in annual profit. It comes amid talk of a potential merger between Kiwibank and TSB Bank if the current TSB Heartland merger falls through. An industry body says it's been blindsided over new reforms to agricultural drone use. The government's scrapping certification requirements for lower risk routine operations like spraying, saying it can hold farmers up for up to 9 months. Associate Transport Minister James Meager says from next year, farmers will only need to give notice to the Civil Aviation Authority. Aviation Industry Association Chief Executive Simon Wallace says they'd been working on reform with the CAA and the Regulation Ministry, including on this rule.
We were surprised today that this announcement came out because we're working through all these things so that we can have reform that is safe for people and safe for the environment.
In sport, Warriors Chief Executive Cameron George believes the 4-year contract extension for coach Andrew Webster will provide stability and confidence in the club's systems. The Silver Ferns Commonwealth Games squad now has 6 players confirmed to play in Australia, with News goal attack Georgia Heffernan will join Curran Berger on the Sunshine Coast. And the number of Super Smash matches covered on television will reduce from 64 to just 24 as New Zealand cricket battles with a $7.3 million deficit for the last financial year. That is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.